A $4 price change just killed your conversion rate. Or maybe it didn't. You have no idea because you never tested it. In apparel, pricing isn't just math. It's psychology, brand positioning, and return management all rolled into one decision. And most brands are guessing. Today, we're showing you exactly how to test pricing without destroying your brand or your margins. You'll get 5 specific price tests apparel brands should run, plus a bonus test at the end that most brands completely overlook. Here's the brutal truth. Your pricing model is probably costing you money. Not because it's wrong, because it's based on assumptions and not data. Most apparel brands use one of 3 pricing strategies: cost plus, value-based, or competitor-based. Cost plus is simple. Add your margins, multiply by your margin, call it a day. The problem? It completely ignores what customers are actually willing to pay. 2 products with identical costs can have wildly different perceived values, but cost plus pricing treats them the same. Value-based pricing sounds better. Price based on what customers think your product is worth. Except here's the catch. You're still guessing. Surveys and focus groups don't predict checkout behavior. Shoppers say one thing, then do another. And then there's competitor-based pricing. Match what similar brands charge. Feels safe, but you're not your competitor. You don't have their cost structure, their brand equity, or their customer base. Following their prices means following their strategy, whether it works for you or not. Here's what all 3 models miss. They don't account for returns. And in apparel, returns change everything. Apparel return rates average about 24% online. Some categories hit 30%. That means 1 in 4 orders comes back. Now imagine you drop your price to boost conversions. It works. Orders go up 15%. But return rates also climb because you're attracting lower intent buyers who aren't sure about fit or quality. And suddenly your winning price is losing you money after processing costs, restocking, and support time. Revenue per order doesn't tell you this. Only profit per visitor does. And you can't calculate profit per visitor without testing actual price points against actual behavior. But here's where it gets more complicated. Price sensitivity in apparel isn't constant. It shifts. Early in a product launch, shoppers care less about price. They want the new drop. They want exclusivity. 3 weeks later, they're comparison shopping. They're waiting for sales. Sensitivity spikes. Static pricing forces one number to work across all these stages. And it can't. Then there's the SKU problem. Apparel brands don't sell one product. They sell variants, colors, sizes, collections. Manual price testing across dozens of SKUs creates chaos. Duplicated products, broken analytics, inconsistent pricing across cart and checkout. That's why most apparel brands don't test prices. The operational risk feels too high, but the cost of not testing is higher. Because without testing, you're flying blind on the most important lever you control. Price testing doesn't just tell you if a number works. It shows you why. It reveals how demand responds at different price levels, whether a $5 increase tanks conversions or barely moves it. It shows whether higher prices actually reduce volume or just filter out low-intent buyers who would have returned anyway. It uncovers where perceived value breaks, the exact point where customers stop believing your product is worth the price. And here's the part most brands miss. It separates short-term wins from long-term damage. Dropping prices 20% might spike orders this week, but it also resets customer expectations. They'll wait for the next discount instead of buying full price. Price testing helps you find the balance, the price that maintains velocity without training customers to expect promotions, but only if the test is clean. A bad price test is worse than no test at all. Here's why. If you change the price and something else at the same time, you won't know what caused the result. That means one variable at a time. Change the price, nothing else. Split traffic evenly. Run both prices concurrently, not sequentially. Traffic quality changes day to day. Testing Monday versus Thursday tells you about traffic, not price. Keep inventory stable. If one variant sells out mid-test, urgency overrides price sensitivity. The data becomes useless. And avoid seasonal distortions. Don't test pricing during a launch, a holiday spike, or a viral moment. You need normal demand to understand normal behavior. Get these right, and you'll know exactly what customers will pay. Get them wrong, and even a winner can hurt you. Here's what most brands track. Conversion rate. Here's what they should track. Profit per visitor. Because a price that converts better but attracts high-return customers doesn't increase profit, it increases work. For apparel, the right metrics are revenue per visitor, not just orders per visitor. Gross margin impact after returns and fulfillment. Return rate by price point, because cheaper doesn't always mean more profitable. And order quality, meaning repeat purchase behavior and lifetime value. A successful price test isn't the one with the most orders. It's the one with the best balance between demand, margin, and brand integrity. Now here's where most brands hit a wall. You can't just change Shopify product prices and call it a test, because shoppers see different prices across pages, cart, and checkout. Analytics break, support gets flooded, trust dies. Duplicating products creates even more problems. SKU chaos, broken inventory sync, analytics you can't trust. And that's why most apparel brands avoid price testing entirely. The technical lift feels too high. But it shouldn't have to be. Shogun's price testing feature in the A/B testing app solves the operational problem. Instead of changing live product prices, it stores test prices separately from Shopify's product data. Shoppers see consistent pricing across the entire journey. No discrepancies, no confusion. To run a test, Shogun duplicates your theme in the background and applies pricing logic there. Your live storefront stays untouched. You review and approve the setup before launch. And once approved, future price tests run faster. And only one price test runs at a time, which protects data integrity. For apparel brands, this means you can test small price increases on best sellers without risking brand perception. Premium versus standard pricing on similar styles. New arrival pricing versus evergreen item pricing. Localizing pricing for different markets, all without duplicating products or breaking your analytics. Here are the 5 price tests we promised, plus that bonus at the end. Test number 1, small price increases on best sellers. That $38 tee versus $42? Test it. The $85 hoodie versus $95? Run it. See exactly where price sensitivity kicks in without guessing or permanently changing your catalog. Test number 2, premium versus standard positioning. Does a premium fabric version at $20 more convert better because it signals quality? Or does it filter out too many buyers? Validate perceived value with real checkout data, not surveys. Test number 3, new arrival pricing versus evergreen items. Fresh drops often support higher margins, but how much higher? Test a new collection at full price while keeping basics unchanged, or test early season pricing against slightly discounted older inventory. Find the margin sweet spot before defaulting to discounts. Test number 4, different metrics, not just conversion. Set up tests that measure revenue per visitor, not just orders. Test for average order value to see if higher prices encourage bundling. Track add to cart rate to understand purchase intent before checkout friction. This prevents you from chasing conversions while killing profit. And a bonus test, rounded versus charm pricing. Does $50 perform differently than $49 for your brand positioning? In apparel, the answer varies. Now you can know for certain. All of this happens without duplicating products, breaking your theme, or confusing customers with inconsistent pricing. The key is starting simple. One variable, one test, real data. Price testing kills the guesswork. You know what your customers actually pay, not what you hope they'll pay. In apparel, pricing is positioning, and getting it wrong means fighting uphill, no matter how good your products are. Like, comment, and subscribe, and check the Shogun blog for more strategies that move revenue, not just traffic.